Now, I understand our friends in Cyberland out there. Can you give us a big wave? Now, can we do that other wave back to them, ladies and gentlemen? I would like, therefore, to introduce Ishan Galapathy. Come on in, Ishan.
Let's get this party started, Dave. I was just warming up. That's the easiest $50 I've ever won.
I think it is.
We had a bet. I said that I'm going to get a standing ovation in the first 5 minutes. How's that? We've seen a tremendous change in supply chain over the last 12 months, not only in Australia, but around the world as well. Finally, I can go to barbecues or friends' places, because before 2020, I would go and introduce myself and people would ask, Ishan, what do you do? And I'd say, I'm a supply chain specialist. They think I'm supplying chains. They think I'm a chain supplier. But now we understand what supply chain is, thanks to what the world has gone through in the last 15 months. And we've seen pretty bold moves being taken by manufacturers, supply chain, logistics.
Ishan, this is your second book.
It is.
How does it help them navigate these changes that you started to talk about in terms of the global supply chain?
I've been privileged to work for global companies. With that came an opportunity to go and see world-class factories. So having seen how the best of the best play this game, I want to provide a simplified approach, a framework that any aspiring company could basically pick up.
So the core of the content then in the book is around simplifying the process and making it more accessible, is that?
So simplifying is the only language that I know. My brain's not big enough to talk complicated jargon and complex programs, so I tend to just simplify everything. It's got step-by-step guides, step-by-step instructions, templates. And so these are all the companies and people who have basically rallied around to say, yeah, this is a framework and a book that will add value. And these 4 parts are actually paradigm. So I present the 4 paradigm shifts that businesses need to have if they, way before they even want to start thinking about implementing the 12 elements, the peak versus the hills. This is the paradigm shift that we need to have in businesses before we get into the first 3 elements. Paradigm 2, elephants versus turtles, signal versus noise, sprint versus marathon.
Now, I'd just like to ask a couple of quick questions from the audience.
Karen Lebsamp for Currajong Kitchen Lavosh, and we've had the pleasure and privilege of working with Ishan for sure. So my question is really, does the journey ever end?
There's always growth, isn't it? So I reckon, the journey never ends, right, Karen? Once you get to a certain stage, then what's the next level and the next level? And I think there are many business owners and founders in the room who would say the journey never ends. The first launch is, yes, we've got the paperback version of the book. So we're launching the ebook as well. And what I'm really, really happy about is the actual virtual workshop. Because, let's be honest, you and I don't have time to go through a book like this. You're not going to read cover to cover, right? But what I do really want is, let's spend a couple of hours where I will take you through the 12 elements, and even better than that, I'm going to get you to map out the maturity of your business against the 12 elements, so that it actually helps you. If you were to read a chapter, you might as well read the chapter that's going to help you.
Round of applause for Ishan, ladies and gentlemen.